Welcome to Nundle, New South Wales, home of Moonglow, Australia. This is my wife, Treva. My name's Sean, and we're really excited at the prospect of working with you. We're here at our property that's off-grid. It's a home that we grow our kids and we grow our food. And Treva's going to take you through the process of effectively showing how to moonshine. We're going to jump in the studio and see how you go.
What's your birth date? Really important to emphasize the word date. It catches people's ear. As they're walking by, if they haven't stopped and they don't come in right away, all you gotta do is repeat it. Most of the time, they haven't heard what you've asked them. So just repeat it. What's your birth date? Now, if they've slowed down, but they haven't stopped yet, just say, I'll show you what I do. And that usually is enough to bring them in. Sometimes you'll have someone who will keep going and they stop, but they don't want to come in, and they go, why? So all you got to do is explain in one sentence exactly what we do. We show people the moon in the sky for the date of their choice. All I need is the day, month, and year, and I can show you any significant date for you. But let's start with your birthday. What's your birth date? That's usually enough to get people in. Now, if it isn't, and they don't want to come in, it's okay. Just let them go, because there's somebody right behind them that's probably heard you, is interested, and all you gotta do, what's your birth date? And ask that other person to come in.
What's your birthday? Show you what we do.
What's your birthday? Yeah. She's all from the bottom.
What was your birthday?
You won't fall in love.
16th of April, and what year?
You're going to be doing this all day. This is the key sentence that grabs people in. We've got the best catch line in the industry. So it's very easy to ask that question. Most people will be interested in coming forward and seeing what we have to offer. So you've called the person over. They're now in front of you. At Moonglow, what we want to do and what separates us from the rest is that we create genuine interactions with people. And the easiest or the best way to do that is to create eye contact. If you look at both eyes, it just allows a person to see that you're being genuine with them. Now, when you receive their information, I want you to really just listen to them and get that birth date without recording it in your book. So receive the information. So let's just say they say 8th of June, 1973. I want you to listen to them and repeat it. 8th of June, 1973. They'll usually acquiesce. Then you come down to your book and you write down 8th of June, 1973. As you can see here, I'm actually repeating it as I'm writing it down. It's really important for them to know and feel confident that you've actually got the correct date. If you're writing it down and they correct you, well, at least you've had a chance to have that correction, and so they know that you've got their correct birth date. Once you've done that, then you're going to go into your calendar, and you're just going to, it's just a regular calendar, you're going to go to 1973. So say 1973, June the 8th. Now you're going to record, there's two things you're going to see in the calendar. One, you're going to see what day of the week it is, and the second you're going to see is a little code. What I want you to do is I want you to tell the customer what day of the week they were born. It's really important to stop what you're doing, look at the customer and say, you were born on a Thursday, in case you didn't know.
I was born on a Sunday.
And sometimes they'll say, oh, I knew that. And you're like, oh, great. Well, let me show you something that you might not know. Or most of the times they'll say, really? Oh, I didn't know that. How cool is that? So what you've done, you've just created this rapport. You've created them, you've given them a bit of information for free about themselves that they didn't even know. And that's what's fun about this, is that at this point, you've kind of put yourself as an authority in the field. You were born on a Thursday, or you were born on a Saturday. So now that you've recorded their birth date, you know what the day of the week is, and you have a moon phase code here. All the codes that we have in the book, there's 18 phases of the moon that you can perceive to the human eye, and they're all right here with the same code. So in this case here was a 4A. You're going to grab the 4A code. Now when you grab that moon, this is where you need to ask the question, where were you born? The customer will usually tell you the state or the city. If they tell you a city that you do not know, you've never heard of, like in Australia there's some really funny names like Woolgoolga, just say, where was that? And they'll tell you whether it's New South Wales or Queensland. Now if someone says a country that you're not aware of, the only thing that we really need to know is whether they were born north or south of the equator. And in the front of the moon phase guide has got the world map with a red line that shows the equator. Anything north of the equator, the moon will have to be adjusted accordingly. Anything south of the equator as well. And so in this case here, anything that's north, like Canada, America, anywhere in Europe, Iraq, Iran, any of those Middle Eastern countries are all north of the equator. South of the equator is really mostly Australia and South Africa, and also in the South America. If you have any hesitation on which way you need to place the moon, not to worry. On the back of the moon phase guide, we have all 18 phases of the moon facing the customer. So you can take your moon drop and just look at the pictures. It has all the different codes there so that you can identify it properly, and take your moon drop and put it in the correct orientation. Now that you've got all the information that you need in order to start the presentation, I want you to grab the moon drop. And this is where we really focus on timing, inflection in your voice, and the flow of the interaction. That's what really makes the superstar moonshiners succeed. And it's timing and being very genuine in your interaction. So this is the moon in the sky for the date of your birth. Really important to emphasize for in this sentence. This is the image of the moon in the sky for the date of your birth. You're going to be clicking it into the pendant. Now we have lots of different pendants here on our pads. This is what we call our leading piece. It's called Simplicity, and it's our regular size piece. We always show the bigger moon first. So you're going to be clicking it in. See how I'm using my hands? I'm holding the outside of the pendant. Really important because or the moon drop, because I don't want to leave any finger marks on it. So this here is called the carrier. You're going to be clicking it into the carrier. Once you've clicked it in, all you need to do is explain very simply what the moon phase that they're looking at. So in this case here was a 4A. 4A, all I need you to say is you're the fourth phase of the ascending moon. If it was a 4D, you'd say you're the fourth phase of the descending moon.
So this here is the image of the moon in the sky. You were born in that seventh phase of the ascending moon.
So now that your customer knows exactly what their moon phase is, you're going to swiftly grab your UV torch and you're going to shine it on exactly right directly onto the moon drop. Now you can see here I'm holding it to the side and to the back. We don't want to cover the moon drop. We want them to be able to see it as it's glowing. It's pretty cool. And you're going to say, when you wear your moon during the day, it absorbs sunlight, and in any dark place, have a look. It glows. Now you can see there was a bit of a pause there. You don't want to ruin the surprise. So what you want to do is you want them to look into the cone, and then you state the obvious, it glows. Sometimes they'll see something inside, they'll see a little green moon, but they don't know what it is. Well, they know what it is, but they don't quite understand. So by stating the obvious, it just makes them go, oh, wow. At this point, you're going to segue directly into getting another birth date. If they're by themselves, you're going to ask the person. If someone's with them, you're going to specifically ask that person, what's your birth date?
When you wear your moon during the day, it absorbs the light or any kind of signal. Then, when you come into a dark place, it does this. That's actually really cool. And what's your birthday? 11th of February, 2005. Okay, who's next? Not you. What's your birthday? Take a look at your moon.
So now that each person in front of you has seen their moon, now we're going to ask for the significant date. So you're going to say, give me another significant date that means something to you or your family. It could be either an anniversary, it could be a child's birthday, it could be even someone who passed away. And that's where the magic of Moonglow lies, is that it brings and connects people together. So for example, I use my example at this point. I say, look, I wear my husband and my 2 boys. I keep my boys close to my heart. If you don't have any children, you can state, I wear me, my mom, and my grandmother, 3 generations of women. Or if you have a boyfriend, you can say, this is me, my boyfriend, and my anniversary. So you're putting all these different ideas in their mind, and then you're going to ask, so what's another significant date? And they'll give you that significant date, and it will usually bring everything together. That third date is always something that you'll get that aha moment. You're going to get them either melting, going, oh, really? Oh, my goodness. And they feel that genuineness. And I want you to also, you're seeing this for the first time with your customer, be genuine with your interaction and really enjoy having fun with them, because this is where the goosebumps rise. So now that you've created a connection for the people in front of you and their significant dates, this is when you are going to move on to the next phase of the presentation. If you don't do this, this is when the customer will interject and ask, well, how much is it? we need to remain in control and move on to the next phase of the presentation. What we want to do is we want to tell them that we're going to be giving them the prices before they ask for it. So now this is the point in the production where we're going to find out which is the best piece for your customer. And how we do that is by offering them choice. We call it the funnel because we have multiple questions that narrow it down to exactly the piece that your customer loves. So the first question is, are you more silver or gold?
So the details of the price. I'm more of a silver gold kind of girl.
The second question, do you wear necklaces or bracelets? Third question, do you like the idea of wearing your family together or just your own? Those are the three questions that will help you identify, no matter where they are here, you're going to get down to one piece with those three simple questions. So now that they've chosen, you're going to take the chain that's associated with the color of the pendant, you're going to string it on, and this is when you tell them the price. You're going to have a price sheet just here, so you don't have to worry about memorizing any prices. You're going to look at your price sheet and say, this one is $65. Let's try it on. And you're going to hold it nice and high against the skin preferably. You're going to hold your mirror in a way that the person can see their moon and themselves. A bit of a triangle thing happening here. Once they look into the mirror, you're going to say, this is the image of the moon for the date of your birth. This is where all your hard work is going to pay off. Okay? We're going to ask the customer for the sale. And how we do this, we have a few different ways we're doing it depending on what we're seeing in front of us. If the customer is all over it, loving it, they're asking their friends, oh, should I get it? I love this. They're very high energy. Then you're simply going to say, so you're going to get that one today? Or this one for you today? It's very simple. Being very direct. The customer usually goes, oh yeah, I'll take it. That's a very direct approach. If you're not quite sure, they're a bit quieter, they like it, you've had a great interaction so far, but you're not feeling that like go for it kind of energy, you're going to use the second approach, which is called the envelope close. So the people that you're not quite sure of, that are a little bit indecisive, or for the people that are stone cold with their arms crossed, you're going to use the envelope close. And the reason why we do this is that we still need you to ask for the sale. I would rather get a no than not know. How we do it is we grab a personality card and an envelope, and it goes something like this. What we do is we pop your birth date here, the day of the week you were born. We authenticate the moon phase. On the back, there's a little personality trait. You can read them when you get home. It's just a bit of fun. And we scribe your name beautifully on the back of the envelope. Would you like to wear your necklace out, or would you like me to pop it in the envelope? And then you just wait for the answer. Most of the times they'll say, oh, I think I'll wear it out today, or pop it in the bag. Either way, any answer that's a yes, say, how do I say and spell your first name? If they say, oh, look, I need to think about it, or they're not interested, it's totally fine. All we do is we ask them if they're on Facebook or Instagram. Most people say yes, one or the other. We ask them literally for their phone. We pop in our details and we tell them, look, you can keep in touch with us. Our details are on our website. You can actually see the moon for free on our website, and it makes a beautiful gift idea for an anniversary or for babies born in the future. Keep us in mind. You can always give the moon to someone that you love. We will show up to 4 moons for each family, or for each individual. And the reason why we stop at 4 is because people tend to get carried away in the moonshining experience. They love seeing how they all connect, and they want to keep going and going. And I'm happy to keep going as long as I ask for the sale and know that this person is also a buying customer. And how I do that is I say this. I have a small house rule that if I show more than 4 moons, you're at least going to get one, right? Which one are you going to get? At this point, they'll say, oh, right, yes, of course. Oh, definitely, I'll get mine. And then you say, oh, sure, sounds good. So what's your grandmother's moon now? And you can carry on showing more moons. But it's very important to be able to get that yes or no in that interaction before you move forward. Sometimes you'll get a customer who is confused and will ask, do you have a moon for every single day? And this is how we answer it. That's a good question. We're the only company in the world who've correlated the 18 most distinguishable moon phases to the naked eye, and we've correlated them to the calendar back to 1900. So we can show you the moon on any significant date. And we always follow up with, what's your birth date? And I'll show you. Usually, that little bit of information, that sentence, is enough to satisfy any skeptical or confused customer. What does all of this mean? Is a question that we occasionally get from our customers. Some people want to believe that there's some sort of esoteric, special meaning about their particular moon phase. And what we've found that in the past, that no matter what we say about their moon, it's subjective. And it doesn't necessarily eventuate into a sale, and you're spending a lot of energy in convincing the customer of their particular moon phase and a special meaning. What I would much rather do is look at the correlation and the connection between the people that they love and the moons for those significant dates and find the connection between them. And that's where the magic of Moonglow lies, is the goosebumps between and the connections between the people that they love.
This concludes our video on being an effective moonshiner. I know it's a lot of information, but rest assured we're here to help you from beginning to end. We've trained hundreds of moonshiners and we know how to do it. We saw something in you that we knew that we could work with. All we're ever going to ask of you is that you are genuine and sincere. If you can do that consistently, day in and day out, we're super happy. Moonglow is so much more than jewelry. People walk away from us with a feeling and an experience. We really look forward to meeting you on the day and know that you are never going to look at the moon the same way. All the best. See you soon.